Our next speaker is Police Chief Connor Daly from Port Townsend.
Most of what I'm going to say, Sheriff Brassfield has already said. We met with the Border Patrol. Through this meeting, we came up with a list of activities and how we would define these for Port Townsend police officers. I don't have the resources. I don't have the authority to deal with federal immigration. That's what the Border Patrol's for. That's why we have them. So to help define the new relationship for the Port Townsend Police Department, I came up with some guidelines and some policy. We'll change these as we go along if it's necessary, but as we start out our relationship with the Border Patrol, I've got some policies here. I'll read them for you so that you have an idea of where the Port Townsend Police Department is coming from. And some of these are less stringent than our internal policies. The first one, this is kind of a backing away, but the officers of the Port Townsend Police Department will not take over or participate in a pursuit started by a Border Patrol agent. They have different laws and mandates that they may be pursuing for that I don't have jurisdiction or authority over. And I don't want to have a string of 15 police cars chasing one individual through the streets of Port Townsend. Officers will not participate in any U.S. Border Patrol checkpoint. I don't have any authority. I don't have any jurisdiction. Traffic stops and subject contacts. Officers can back up Border Patrol agents for issues of officer safety, but we cannot arrest suspects on Border Patrol probable cause developed by Border Patrol agents. Again, the federal Constitution is less restrictive than the Washington State Constitution and local ordinances. If a Border Patrol agent makes an arrest from a vehicle, and Chief Bates, this was one of the specific issues that came up in our discussion, said that his agents would be responsible for towing and seizing the vehicle. That came as a result of some incidents that occurred. The vehicle wasn't seized. It became an issue for the local jurisdiction. We had our meeting and we worked that issue out. Officers will not assist Border Patrol investigations without the approval of a duty sergeant. This goes for, again, we have different charges and different responsibilities, and I don't have the resources to conduct immigration investigations. This one, in the event that Spanish-speaking interpreter is needed for translation, I have a list of volunteers from the community of Port Townsend that have stepped up and said that they would be available should the need arise. Also clarify that with the same thing that the sheriff said. If it's a tactical situation where I need the expertise of a Border Patrol, trained law enforcement Border Patrol agents, we will utilize that. But if all I need is somebody to help translate or communicate with someone for purposes that we're dealing with local jurisdiction issues, I have a list of people who have gladly volunteered to come out at 2 o'clock in the morning when it's raining and snowing and help me with this translation. For those of you that don't know me, I've worked in law enforcement for 35 years. I come from the state of New Mexico, and I worked for many years very closely with the Border Patrol. And as a result of a long relationship that had been started and developed and built up long before I became a police officer, things in the South went very smoothly. What we're dealing with here in Northwest is we're working on developing that kind of relationship. And there are going to be some bumps along the way. But I have what we're doing. Border Patrol has their duties and charges and responsibilities. We'll work together for the community and for officer safety. Thank you.